Lily Beth and Captain Robotech. One day, Lily Beth was at the movies. There was a creature double feature, and it was a pretty good one. The first movie was okay, and there was a lot of people getting eaten and squished by the monsters, and they all deserved it. And then suddenly, the second movie was great. All these people were getting squished and eaten by these monsters when suddenly out of nowhere the monster in the movie leapt out from the screen and landed right in front of the audience. It screamed, we screamed, everybody screamed, all at once and all together. Then the monster spotted the exit, and he began smashing and crashing and crushing his way up towards the exit as pursued by the hero, Captain Robotech, who had followed the monster out of the film and into the real world. And just then the monster turned and killed Captain Robotech. And as Captain Robotech lay dying, her systems shutting down one by one, she tossed Lily Beth her death ray and said, "It's up to you now, soldier, to save us all." Then she died right in front of Lily Beth, and her body returned to the movie, just like that. And Lily Beth was left holding a death ray gun and suddenly dressed in 25th century clothes, just like the people in the movie had been. Oh my God, she thought, how am I going to stop it? If Captain Robotech couldn't stop the monster, what chance do I have? Then turning towards the screen, she yelled, "Captain Robotech, come back!" But Captain Robotech was dead and had returned to the movie, and she knew it. Then she repeated Captain Robotech's pledge that he makes to serve and protect truth, beauty, and science, and to guide humanity against all threats. So then she raised the death ray and prepared to do what had to be done. There was no one else who could save everybody. It had to be her. So filled with renewed courage and confidence, she went after the monster with a vengeance, keeping the death ray focused on it as it slowly weakened and then vanished back into the movie. Then Lily Beth, having saved the day, crouched down in the lobby, looked around, and then when she felt safe and confident that no other monsters were about, she threw the death ray gun up into the air, and just like that it vanished back into the movie. As well, and Lily Beth noticed that those cool space threads that she had been wearing a moment ago had vanished, and she was now suddenly once again wearing her old regular street clothes. Darn, I liked those space threads. Then she walked out of the theater past people none of whom had any idea how close the world had come to oblivion. And she said to herself, "I saved you all. You're welcome." When she got home, her mother asked her, "How was the movie?" So Lily Beth told her, "Well, the movie was called Journey Beyond Time, and it was all about Earth in the 25th century. But then the monster escaped from the movie and jumped right out into the theater, and I had to save the world from it and send it back into the movie." "Oh, that's nice, dear," said the mother. Then Lily Beth continued, "The skies were empty, the oceans were empty, the land was a treeless wasteland, except for the millions of smokestacks rising up from the ground and belching out the smoke and soot of an industrial machine cities that were still buried deep beneath the ground that housed humanity still hard at work polluting. And in one of these machine cities, by recombining the DNA of a horse and an eagle, they were able to create a flying horse that they then bred in order to bring life back to the skies, to the earth. Then in another underground city, by combining the DNA of a cow and a fish, they created a cow with gills and lungs who could bring life back to both the land and the ocean. Then after the flying horses and the swimming cows were released back into the environment, something strange happened. The pollution that the smokestacks had been spewing out into the atmosphere began affecting the DNA of these animals. And overnight, the skies and the oceans were filled with monsters that had evolved in all kinds of strange ways due to the pollution, and they were all at war with each other. And humanity was forced to watch from the safety of their machine cities, buried miles underground, as their planet was taken from them by this new threat that man had created by playing God with the animals' DNA. The good thing was that they all hated each other. They barely noticed the smokestacks as they battled each other in the skies and in the oceans and across the land. In this new war, there were no good monsters, and so they all fought each other to the death, until only one monster cow was left, having absorbed all of the other monsters. Then, as it searched for food, the monster cow somehow realized that there was more food underground, near those smokestacks. So he started attacking the cities, as the army of robots were created to take it on, an army led by Captain Robotech. And just when all hope seemed lost, Captain Robotech sacrificed himself by jumping upon the back of the monster cow and triggering a time bomb that had been set to transport the monster cow to beyond the end of time. So that's what it did, and as the credits rolled, the monster was transported beyond the end of the movie, and he found himself in the movie theater, still alive, followed in hot pursuit by Captain Robotech. The time bomb had transported both of them beyond the end of the movie and into the movie theater, and straight with the audience in shock, not knowing what to do. We all watched as the monster killed Captain Robotech right in front of me. Then Captain Robotech, with her last breath, turned to me and said, "It's up to you now, soldier." And she gave the death ray to Lily Beth, and so that she could kill the monster before it could get free and destroy the world. So that's what Lily Beth did. She used Captain Robotech's death ray to kill the monster and send it back into the future. "Wow," said Lily Beth's mother. "That sounds like a really good movie." "Oh, it was," said Lily Beth, as she walked up to her room and began writing in her journal.